Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Pisces in mid-July 2019. Hello, Pisces. What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys. Welcome to mid-July. It's a little late, but, you know, that's kind of how my channel is. I say mid, but then it's like a week later. I say the beginning of the month, and then it's like a week later, especially for you, Pisces, because my generals for the entire month, the 6-card spreads, I go in order. Pisces, you're the last one. You usually get your stuff like 10 days into the month, but that's just how I roll. Sorry about it, but not really. Anyway, Pisces, I hope everything in your life is going well, considering this retrograde has had most people reeling, especially water signs, a little bit, well, not a little bit, but quite a bit for the earth signs. Fire signs are doing their own thing. I think air signs are probably not so bad, considering how everybody else is feeling, at least. Anyway, that's besides the point. Welcome. Shuffled off camera, that's your main spread there. We'll shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. You can look for the timestamp in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. You simply email me, I email you back. There's a little payment that happens between you and I, and then you get your video uploaded for you within 24 to 72 hours, okay? Anything else? Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, and do all that fun stuff that YouTube allows you to do. If you like what you see here, helps support the channel, helps me grow as a user here on YouTube, as a reader here on YouTube, and all that stuff is greatly appreciated because, you know, I'm not doing this just for funsies. I'm doing this because, well, I am doing it mostly for funsies, but I am also doing it because I do have an honest interest in building a community and getting to know people who are in this spiritual world, in this metaphysical, in this esoteric space, because it's just not typical where I'm from, or at least with the people that I'm around. So anyway, plus, you know, my friends get tired of me like being like, oh, I saw that in a reading, or I could do a reading for you. And they're like, oh God, Jay, just leave me alone. They don't say that, but I kind of get the feeling that's what they want to say. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. All right. I want to see outcome for Pisces in mid-July, please. I want to see Pisces outcome in mid-July. Please show me. Whoa. Whoa. Like more than half of your cards fell to the floor. I don't know what that means, but that's what happened. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And your outcome came just like that. Let's flip the other two and see what you're working with up here. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. That's probably, yeah, you go. That looks good here. Looks good there. Let's get into it. Please show me where Pisces is in mid-July. I want to see where Pisces is in mid-July. Please show me. Okay. Wow. I think you guys had this before where it was like a here and here kind of situation. I could be thinking of another sign, so don't quote me. One more time. Where? Okay, good. Thank you. They were much clearer that time. So, there we go. Coming into your reading, Pisces, you come in with card 20, New Beginnings. Starting a new life. Finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. This is the Judgment card. I just did Cancer's reading, so I'm going to have to give them a disclaimer. This is the Judgment card, secondary major arcana card for Scorpio. So some of you might be dealing with Scorpio, but you don't have to be. So basically, Pisces, I was about to call you Pisces. Pisces. You're in many ways like sort of at a crossroads, or at least like, as the card says, a new beginning, right? You're at the, even more so, like the silhouetted figures there at the bottom of the card. You're at the base of a mountain, ready to climb, ready to ascend to something new, ready to climb to a summit, okay? So again, crossroads, a gateway, just like this brand new plateau or this landscape, yeah, is what they're showing me. This is it simultaneously feels like this is sudden, but then also like a long time coming. So maybe your judgment on a situation is swift. Boom. Pisces has decided this. Pisces has made a decision about that. Boom. Done. But the build up to that decision-making moment has been however long, like previous weeks, months, years before the actual moment comes where Pisces says their piece, or Pisces makes a decision to go left, to go right, to go north, to go south, whatever. And you're so empowered. I love it. I feel that you're so empowered. You're like turned on to this thing. In some cases, it feels like you're drawing a line in the sand, or like a line under something. Like when we say that, we're drawing a line under it. It's done, finished, kaput. Drawing a line in the sand. This is my limit. These are the boundaries. This is what I will not accept. This is what I will accept. Like very definitive decisions are coming from you, and it's you're emboldened. Thank you. I was like, what's the word? What's the correct conjunction? Whatever. It's very strong. And I think I'm like so taken aback because someone around you, or people around you, Pisces, are not prepared for how strong you're going to be, or how strong you are already being. People are like, holy shit, Pisces has a backbone since when? Or Pisces has an opinion about this since when? Pisces has made up their mind about something since when? Since now, sucker. Now. So for you, Pisces, this is something that you've thought about a lot. Maybe you've worked on it for a while. You've weighed pros and cons. You have felt this momentum building behind you, like a furnace churning, or like, you know, like in the old trains, like steam trains, where they would feed coal into the train, into that furnace, and it just like, whoo, 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 like the fire expands. You have felt it. You have known it. Everybody else is about to find out about it. Okay? And it's not in a destructive way. It's not in a way that you're burning bridges and like not looking back to see who you're leaving behind, or who, you know, gets caught up in your wake, or anything like that. No, it's simply a matter of being firm and not allowing people to think they can get over on you, or to think that they can persuade you to change your mind, to reconsider, or anything like that. Because you have been reconsidering. You have been, you know, second guessing, or going over the details, going over the history of something. You've been doing that work on your own, whether they knew it or not. And when you come to this decision point, when you finally state your case, when you finally share your final opinion on something, people are going to be like, but wait, what about this? And you're like, I've already considered it. I've already thought about that. I've already looked at those details. I've already, you know, recalled what, you know, the details were in that conversation. Whatever we're talking about, very general. So the work of studying the problem, of weighing out the pros and cons, that work has been done by you. You were on it, Pisces, before now. Somebody else is just like, huh? What? And you're like, yeah, mm-hmm. And you're kind of being cavalier with however anybody reacts. Because you're just like, yeah, I did. I said this, or I'm deciding this, or I'm moving this way in my life. I'm moving forward down this path in my life. So what? Like, you're kind of, you know, giving them the shoulder, giving them the, like, like that little emoji with the woman who goes, I don't know, like, you're gonna have to deal with it. An old phrase that my uncle, who passed away, he would always say, and it got on my nerves, but as an adult, I kind of can appreciate it a little bit now, and I'm sure it's a phrase many of you have heard before in your life: tough titties. Or another way of saying it, like it or lump it. It's like, really, I will not be moved from this decision point, or this situation can't be helped because I have the final say, or I've decided to go another way, or I've decided to do blah, 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 and it's regardless of anything that you have to contribute. No. Save it. Save it. Save your breath. Save your effort. It's cool. Tough titties. Okay? Yes! Get into it. Pisces, you're going to have an easy reading for me. So, this resilience, twofold. First, right above you, the Emperor. Major Arcana for Aries says, stability and efficiency. Taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. Let's get it, Pisces. Who doesn't give a fuck? The Emperor doesn't give a fuck. Pisces right now, you're going to borrow that cloak. You're going to borrow the energy, or not cloak, toga, I guess. You're going to borrow those wings from Archangel Uriel, okay, who's representing the Emperor energy today in this deck. You're going to be like, excuse me, can I just borrow that for a second? I just need it. I'm going to need it for a little bit, just a little bit, okay? And then you will go and you will make these declarations in your life. I don't know who you're making it to. I don't know in what regard. Work, family, loved ones, spouses, children. I don't know who or what you're dealing with, but you about to be in there like a boss. Like a boss. I've made up my mind. I'm standing in this truth. I'm standing in this decision. Try me. Try me. The boundary is set. The line in the sand has been cast. I've drawn it straight up here. If you want to do it, if you want to cross my boundary, try me. The Emperor does not, and again, it's going against the stereotype or the stereotypical archetype of Pisces, which is soft and billowy and very like, nymph in the woods, fairy-like, all this very, fantasy-based lore or visual that sometimes Pisces gets. Another visual that I think Pisces can get is like a hippie or someone who's like a little spacey. If you're familiar with Harry Potter lore, I feel like, what's her name? Luna Lovegood? Isn't that her name? The really like spaced out girl whose dad like basically owns the wizard version of like Mad Magazine or some shit like that. Whatever. Those are all stereotypes of Pisces. What I know, because again, Pisces, if you guys have been with me for a while, I know a few Pisces and I love you all dearly. What I know about Pisces is Pisces can get spicy. Pisces can lay a hammer down on you and you will not know. I have had it happen once or twice and I'm like, oh no, I didn't, and it takes me aback. So maybe I'm channeling that because I've experienced it. Holy shit. Okay. I gotta regroup on my end because I did not expect Pisces to say that to me. I didn't expect Pisces to do that. Okay, I got you. Okay. So that's what's going on here. You're putting on your spicy britches, okay? And you're bringing out the heat on people. Not in a destructive way, not in a way of vengeance and retaliation. It's simply after I have done my homework, I've done all the research, I've sat within myself during this retrograde period. A lot of water signs, not just Pisces, have been in this introspective space, been very closed off, been very much in their own mind about so much, in their own emotions about so much. Once that period is done, watch out. Pisces is coming out with a vengeance. I just said not in a vengeful way, but coming out with a vengeance in the sense of like, if it is a vengeance, it's not to hurt anybody. I feel that the vengeance, even though I don't think this is the motivation, but if we want to take that word, or if we want to take that concept, I think the vengeance is against former perceptions of you. You thought I was this, watch me now. You thought I was that, watch me now. That's the vengeance, is I'm striking down. I'm piercing through this previous image of me that you held, that she held, that they held, whatever. And I'm redefining who you think I am. That's the vengeance. It's not to hurt anybody else. It's not to make anybody, you know, look a fool. It's really to let people know I've redefined the situation. I've redefined my character. I've redefined my behavior. Here's the new me. Okay? Yes, get it. Similar situation. Knight of Gabriel, aka Knight of Wands. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. Time to take action. Great passion for a cause. Instinctively knowing just what to do. What did I just say, sort of? This is kind of, like, I think this is speaking, the Emperor is really speaking to that internal flame, like that expanding fire in the furnace, right, that I talked about. The Knight of Gabriel is going to be your manifestation of that coal-burning energy, yeah? You will be ignited and propelled into action. So for some of you, this decision, I'm making new actions in my life. Instead of working in this type of environment, I'm going to change jobs. Instead of dating these types of people or allowing this type of energy into my relationship or this type of behavior to come from my partner, no. New rules, okay? And not in a tyrannical way. It's more of a, here's what I need. We need to work on this. You know, Pisces, you're still very much a communal person. You're still very much interested in trying to work with people than against them, okay? So if it is, no matter what it is, we're defining new ways of approaching the situation. We've got new ideas. We have new charismatic approaches. We have new courage to even fathom or even imagine that I could do something in a new way. Amazing rebirth of yourself here. Amazing rebirth. Judgment. Again, back here where you started, 20. Judgment is a card of rebirth. If not totally rebirth, what do you call that? Revival. If you're familiar with the tarot, the traditional depictions of the major arcana cards, or any of the cards, obviously, that is the card of the angel blowing its trumpet or blowing its bugle and the bodies rising from the grave. Revival, rebirth. Yeah? Okay. So Pisces is born anew. Pisces is coming with some new shit for your ass. I don't know who said that, like in this world, or who in my mind said that, but that's really this energy. You thought you knew who I was. Here's the new business. Very cool. I like that for you. Anything else? Because I feel like I said, the Emperor is like that internal flame that is propelling you forward. Just like giving you the fuel you need to get this done. And the Knight of Gabriel, the Knight of Wands, comes out and says, here's how I'm going to do it. Here is the action, the practical action that I will take in this world. Yeah? Anything else? Given that it's a night and the horse and everything and, you know, the desert, we could be talking about travel. So that could be it. Some of you could be like, you know what? I'm tired of living this life. I got enough money in the bank. I'm about to be a nomad out here. And people are looking at you like you got 5 heads. What? You're like, yeah, man. I'm giving up my house. I'm selling my house. I'm selling my car. I'm going to be living that, you know, hostel life. I'm going to be Airbnb-ing it for a while because you need a change. You know, sometimes, especially with a Pisces, mutable water, oh yeah, the bounds of life can be really depressing for a Pisces, can be really degrading to your spirit, or grating to your spirit, if you don't want to say degrading, grating to your spirit, that you have to have yourself put in a little box, be defined as this, be expected to do that. Like the limitations of life, Pisces, water, mutable, ruled by Neptune, underworld, okay, dreamscape, all of those things that are super expansive, don't actually have a true form or shape. Illusionary. In a different way of thinking about that is not predictable or unexpected. There you go, unexpected. So giving up the trappings of life, or giving up this suburban, you know, success in the West in business, giving up those tropes, giving up those trappings, and saying, I'm going to go live here now, or I'm going to go travel the world, or I'm giving up my day job where, you know, I made 6 figures a year. to go dedicate myself to a humanitarian effort in a third world country, or with a population in my own country that needs attention. Does that make sense? So some of you are really like taking up a noble cause and dropping this, for lack of a better word, this selfish intent that pervasives or is pervasive through our society, through many societies, not just American or North American societies, right? Like, I'm done chasing after clout. I'm done chasing after dollars. I'm done chasing after, hookups and this whole, hookup generation. I'm done with that. I want to dedicate myself to something that has meaning and purpose. Great passion for a cause. On the card, let's go. Final card in your main spread. 3 of Gabriel, aka 3 of Wands. What's on that card immediately? A ship. Man, let's go. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Boom, boom. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Here again with that Knight of Girls and guys. You guys had a nice... I'm not wrapping it up, but this is like such a clear, straightforward reading. So you've got the gumption, you've got the plan, you have this new outlook on life, you have this new self that you're ready to present to the world and to live in for a while. Again, water, mutable, probably not the last big change that you're going to go through in your life. But whatever this new Pisces is, whatever this new version of yourself is, you're looking out and you're really seeing the possibilities in front of you. You're optimistic, you're hopeful, you're idyllic in some cases. So be careful of that. Don't get too idyllic because, like I said, that Neptune energy of illusions, not that you can't dream, but make sure that you're still having an anchor or a foot down in reality. It's one thing to dream big, but how can you actually get there? Okay, so that's a little bit of a caveat here. But I'm not really worried about that, Pisces, because like I said, you've thought about it. You've got the fire under your butt, or the fire in your tummy, the fire in your furnace. That's going to drive you forward, going to keep your energy levels up. And then you have the tenacity with that Knight of Gabriel. Boys and girls, this 3 of... God, it's not a card of success. It is still a card of having things come lined up and ready to come down the line. Yeah? And again, with the boat, traveling for many of you, not all of you, of course, but many of you have this aspect of travel. And, travel, can be as grand as what I explained before. You start traveling the world, you're a nomad, or you're out on humanitarian efforts in a foreign country you've never been to before. Great. Others of you, traveling can just be literally going a few blocks over or a few miles over and visiting. If some of you are or you want to be involved in your local community. Maybe you realize in this community, just to keep it real and let's plug in reality right here, maybe your community, your city, your town is having an issue with drug abuse, right? What are they? Oh my God, I'm about to sit here and forget the word. Oh God. Opioids, that's the word. Thank you. Took me a second. But maybe you're living that experience. Maybe it's close to home. You've got relatives who are hooked on it. You've got relatives who have lost their homes, their jobs, their children, everything because of this addiction. And now you're like, you know what? I want to make a difference. So the travel aspect does not have to be global or international. It really can be literally, instead of going home after work every day, 4 days out of the week, I'm going to go down and I'm going to volunteer at this shelter, or I'm going to volunteer over here to help with the homeless, or to help with people who are, on the streets because of this drug addiction. Whatever it is. So again, that doesn't denote success. That doesn't denote an easy road. The 3 of Pentacles, all the 3s require work, require effort. Okay? But I feel, Pisces, if you don't have a particular goal, or rather you don't have a big goal, just being out there and making connections with people, or just being out there experiencing new... All right, Pisces, I apologize about that. And as you can see, I'm holding a totally new card. I ran out of space because I forgot to clean out my storage. But anyway, so going back a little bit before I was cut off. the Three of Gabriel. You might not have a particular goal in mind or a particular endpoint or something that you're, imagining in your mind that's going to give you something or satisfy you in some type of way. You could just be, the satisfaction or your feeling of use, feeling of having purpose is going to come just from interacting within these communities, of making these human connections. Before I cut off, I was saying for that person or those group of people who I was mentioning before, where, you have access, you have, you've got plenty of money where you can afford to sell your home or put it on a sublet or something like that, and you can travel for a while, dedicate yourself to something humanitarian overseas. Even if there isn't a particular goal that you have in mind, or a certain line that you want to cross, like a finish line, all right? The purpose or the drive is just to experience it, just to go out and make these connections with people, whether we're doing it within our hometown, our home state, our home country, or anywhere else in the world. It does not matter. It's really down to how am I going to impact the lives of other people, even if it seems inconsequential or minuscule in the grand scheme of all the billions and billions of people that are on Earth. Pisces might be coming from a perspective that says, if I can help one person or a handful of people, get them off the street, help to get them into a treatment program, help to feed their village, I will have done something great in this world. Okay? Now, where I was before I realized the camera had cut off was here in your outcome, which is a little interesting. Three of Michael, aka Three of Swords. Release the past. You will grow from the situation. Time heals all wounds. So the Three of Swords traditionally shows the heart being pierced by three swords. And what I like about this deck, not in particular, but what I like about this deck is it has a less specific interpretation, because a lot of times when we see the Three of Swords, we immediately think of heartbreak, we immediately think of betrayals and things like that, and third-party situations, blah blah blah. This has not been a romantic reading for the most part. Some of you, this might apply to your romantic sector, but that is not what's going on here. Between that three and this three, I'm not sensing third-party situation, and you guys know me, blah. If it applies to your life, you know it, and you may do so. But how I'm interpreting this, how I'm feeling this energy, has nothing to do with third-party situation in that traditional cheating, lying, manipulation, broken-hearted meaning. Third-party situation could be what you were dealing with back here, where I'm feeling it's the more not diverse, but the more expansive understanding of third-party situation, which is energetically something has come in as a curveball, something has come in to disturb the constant or the very intricate or linked energy between two. So if you do have a partner or business partner, lover, family member that you're close to, whatever, if you do have a connection with someone else, a twosome, right? The third party comes in because you're saying, I want to do more with what I have to offer. What we've talked about this entire reading, Pisces. I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to make this. I'm going to make a decision, or I'm building myself up to make a decision that's going to change who I am. So you're inviting in this third energy of change, transformation, new perspectives, new energy, new determination, new. That's third party, regardless of whether it's about somebody stooping outside of their relationship. That is the essential of third party. I want what I don't already have. I'm interested in introducing something that to a relationship, to myself, to my partner, whatever, that hasn't been there before. So that's how this Three of Michael could apply to some of you. It's signaling in that change that you're going to get into. It doesn't matter. And it might disturb some current relationships that you have, regardless of whether it's romantic or not, okay? More than anything, this change, this new Pisces, this version 2.0 of yourself is here to help you get over this energy wherever it lies in your life. Because the Three of Swords, or the Three of Michael, more than anything than heartbreak and cheating and all that, signals a pain, a dissatisfaction, an uncertainty with how to move forward, needing some type of new unity or a healed unity within a situation. And so for some of you who are not in any type of partnership, or whatever's going on isn't affecting any partnerships in your life whatsoever, this is really about mending fences within yourself, within your history, you know? That person who is giving themselves over to a humanitarian effort, maybe this is a wound, or this is some type of healing work that you're trying to do against, or not against, but in the antithesis of being a very selfish person, a very ignorant person when it comes to the needs of others. You know, if you are that person walking your streets, or driving in your car, and you're seeing people living on the streets, and you used to think at a previous time in your life, ugh, why don't they just get a job? Or, ugh, they're nothing but drug addicts, all of them. And then you find out through a personal experience, or, you know, you're watching TV, you're reading newspapers, you're reading books, whatever. You realize it's not always that cut and dry. Some people end up on the street, sure, because of drugs, but why did they get on drugs in the first place? Lost their job. Some of them turned to drugs to cope. That's sad. They should be responsible. They are responsible for their own thing, but, you know, before that, they were a stand-up citizen, paid their taxes, they were successful, they were a volunteer at their own church, whatever. The details of somebody else's life, if not your own, has really changed your perspective in some type of way, and has highlighted something within you, Pisces, from your past that needs a little bit of mending, okay? Overall energy for the mid-July reading for you, Pisces, is the Knight of Knight of Michael, aka the Knight of Swords. Strong, committed, intellectual, diligent. Time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion. Sudden changes. So basically, sort of what I was just saying in that example. Choose logic over emotion. Logically, you're reading these stories, you're hearing these stories of how people have ended up on the street, or ended up losing their jobs, ended up losing their family business, and how that caused them to be homeless. And after they became homeless, you know, most people turn a blind eye to people who are on the street. And that dejection, that rejection from society, that rejection and dejection from other people in their community led them down a darker path. And logically, some of you are like looking at that and thinking, wow, you know, what other choice did they have? Or, you know, if I was in their shoes, you know, it's like the emotional reaction of looking at someone who's down on their luck, or is completely homeless, or completely addicted to drugs, is ugh, you know, and dismissive, yeah? There's something about applying an objective perspective to that situation or to those circumstances that you're kind of like, you know, I can't guarantee that if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't have walked a similar path. So it's not traditional with the Knight of Swords, but there is, because you're a Pisces, of course, there is this backdrop of compassion to whatever you're doing. Whether you're doing humanitarian stuff, volunteer stuff locally, or if this is just a new revival and a new version of yourself, and this is maybe self-directed energy of having to rectify and want to see yourself on a better track, get yourself off of some type of drug or some type of addiction, whatever. There's compassion behind this whole thing, Pisces, which is totally your bag, and I'm here for it. Pisces, that is your mid-July reading. If you liked it, there's a like button down below. Hit it. There's also a comment section. You can leave comments letting me know how this resonated in your life. You can share this video across your social media platforms, help the channel grow, and of course, subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Doing any and all of those things helps me grow as a content creator here on YouTube, helps me get more exposure as a reader here on YouTube, and that is ultimately my goal. I want to see more people. I want to meet more people. I want to try and help more people. So if you want to help me reach those goals, do all those things, or some of those things, or one of those things, please. But if not, it's totally cool. Pisces, I'll be back in a few weeks to give you your August reading. Like I said, you'll probably get it, you know, at least a week into August, because that's how it rolls. So don't be daunted by the timing. And also, just as a general announcement, I'm announcing it in all the videos I'm doing for the mid. I will be going live. Dun, da, da, da. I will be going live in August. However, I'm doing a reading for Leo. I just published Leo's birthday reading yesterday, and I told them there I'm going to do a live at some point in August where I'm going to do readings for Leos specifically because it's their birthday. Oh, fuck off. Oh, I thought this had stopped recording. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse at you guys. But anyway, obviously it's still recording. So yeah, I'm going to do a live for Leo. You're welcome to stop by. You're welcome to hang out in the chat and say hello and maybe just listen in on people, you know, be nosy. It is a public forum, so anybody who I read for, I think they would understand that there might be people listening who have nothing to do with their situation. But the live will be specifically for Leo, but it'll be the first time that I go live. So if you want to come, hang out, say hello, totally cool. All right, Pisces, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.